4.5, power rule level 2. We're still finding the derivative, but these have radicals in it, or maybe have an exponent in the denominator of a fraction. So our first job is going to be to rewrite this function. So I'll put f of x equals, this is really just -4/3 times the square root of x, and then x, since it's to the first power and square roots have an index of 2, this would be x to the 1/2 power. So you have to have it as an exponent so that we can do the power rule. So now to find the derivative of the function, I'll do 1/2 times the -4/3 x to the 1/2. Remember, we always subtract 1 from the power. When we multiply fractions, we multiply straight across, but I see that I could cross simplify first. I'll take out a 2. That would be -2/3 x, 1/2 minus 1. Well, this is 1/1, which I can't do anything with, but I could change this into 2/2, which would make a whole. 1/2 minus 2/2 would be -1/2. And they want us to express our answer in radical form, so we're going to have to change it back into a radical without negative exponents. But we don't have to rationalize any denominator. So what we need to do is write our -2/3, but then this sinks to the bottom because it has a negative power. And if it's a 1/2 power, it'd be the square root of x. So it's -2/3 square root of x is the derivative. Okay, number 2, we have a radical in the denominator. Let's first rewrite this function as -1/6, and then this would be x to the 2/3 power. But I don't even like that. I would rather go ahead and float this exponent up, but it's going to have to make it a negative power when we do that. So I have -1/6 times x to the -2/3. Then we'll do our power rule to find the derivative, where we bring the -2/3 in front, times the -1/6, and then x to the -2/3 minus 1, but I'm going to have it over 3, so that would be -3/3. Okay, I see cross simplifying can happen. I'll take out a 2, so that'll be negative times a negative is a positive 1/9. X, -2/3 minus 3/3 would be -5/3. So let's rewrite that as a radical, and then again, this is going to have to go in the denominator. So we'll have 1/9 times the cube root of x to the 5th in the denominator. So that would be our derivative. So hopefully you're remembering these rules of exponents, negative exponents. They can become positive when you move them from top to bottom or bottom to top. And then when you have a fractional exponent, that's really a radical, where the denominator of the fraction is the index, the type of radical, and then the numerator is the power on that x. And then number 3 is actually even easier. If I want to rewrite this function, I would have 3/5 times, I'm going to move this to the top, so I'll have times x to the -2nd. So the derivative would be taking -2 times 3/5 x to the -2nd minus 1 more. Multiply straight across, that would be -6/5 x to the -2 minus 1 is -3. So I'll sink this back down. -6/5 x cubed would be my answer.